Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJamz. Music and picture books. What a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together. What a yummy snack. PBJamz. Yummy books and music. PBJamz. Reading, writing, teaching. PBJamz. What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PBJamz.
Good morning or afternoon, whenever it is that you guys are joining us for this episode of PBJamz. I'm feeling a little rusty actually because I was just telling these ladies I've been out of the country for 3.5 weeks. Haven't done PBJamz in a while, so you guys bear with us, but we are super glad that you are here, and I am doubly blessed to be able to share with you two amazing creators that have put together a super fun book that is song, that is story with amazing illustrations. And so they are joining us to talk about Muddy Puddles. So welcome to Laura Doherty and Jane Smith. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've had a little break for summer because I've been traveling, and so we are kicking off brand new little mini season of PBJamz. So thank you guys for being here, and I love it when I get to have more than one creator here to talk about the different sides of the process and how that works. And the book is precious. So Laura is a children's musician, and I also love it when I get to have people on that are actually musicians and in that field and working and singing and playing for kids. So before we get into the book per se, Laura, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the music field for kids.
Yeah. Well, I've been a children's musician for about 25 years. I've been doing it full time since 2009, and I got started in it. I'm based in Chicago, and I got started by working at a folk music school. It's called the Old Town School of Folk Music, and they do a lot of early childhood music classes as well as it's mainly a guitar school where people come and take
Okay.
guitar lessons, but also, all the folk instruments,
Yeah.
mandolin, ukulele, bass, not even just acoustic, but of all instruments.
Yeah.
Um, and so I got hooked into working in their early childhood program, and I started teaching classes. They're called Wiggle Worms, and
Oh,
it's
fun.
with the parent and child. And I did that for several years, and we do a lot of folk music and traditional kid songs. And then I started to get the idea of writing my own songs, and I would try them out in the classroom. So,
Yeah.
like, my
Yeah.
very first song was a train song about the L train in Chicago, the elevated train that goes around the downtown.
Yeah.
And I just came up with some words, and I had the parents and kids march around in a circle, and they were singing it right away. I was riding on the L train in Chicago, Illinois. And so it was like my first clue of like, oh, this is catchy.
Yeah.
And I had done a couple singer-songwriter albums, for fun, grown-up music, I guess you could say.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I was finding, oh, this is really fun. And so um I I decided I'm still working at the music school, but decided to go full time with kids music and then just teach part-time there. And then I also teach in daycares, some preschools and daycares, and then I fill my time out on the weekends doing concerts for kids. And I have a band. We're called Laura Doherty and the Heartbeats, and
Oh,
we've been
love it.
together for about 10 years. And then I do a little bit of touring, so I tour around the country. So yeah, it's become just a great avenue of uh, to do it full time. I thought the kids' music it's fun. Kids love music. It's educational, um, and it ties it all in, And a lot of my songs tell stories. I have a lot of animal songs, and I've always wanted to turn one of my songs into a book. And then I meet Jane last year we met, or maybe the year before.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, I think it was last year. Hmm.
Wow.
Just last year, I was through another artist referred me to Jane to des I think the first thing we did was designing a new logo first for me, right? Or
Actually,
was
I
it
think first was I did an album cover for your single, a song Laura had released called Summer Olympics.
Oh,
right? That
cool.
was the first thing, yeah, because the Olympics was that yeah last summer. So and I loved it. I loved the cover, and then I asked Jane to if hired her to design a new logo for me. And
Yeah.
then I saw that she, which I love, and then I saw that she was also an author of children's books. And then so I reached out and said, "Would you ever want to collaborate on a book?" And then she said yes. And
So
the
how
rest.
did you decide that Muddy Puddles was the one that you wanted to start with for a book?
Well, there was a few. I think we were talking about a few of my different songs. I forgot what the other ones I was thinking about.
I
Oh,
mean, we looked,
Proctor.
well, you kind of were thinking about what were your most loved songs, like your most popular songs. So I think
Right.
that's where, was the
Yeah.
starting point.
Gotcha.
But in addition to Muddy Puddles, I know we talked for a while about Laura's song with all the pasta noodles.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what that one's called, but it's really cute, and you go through like all of the noodles.
Yeah. Pasta
Um,
Noodles is the name of it. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's right.
Um, yeah. So, well, Muddy Puddles is on this album, and
High five. Nice.
this is another Chicago artist did a little pig in the mud
Love
there. And then so the song has been around since around 2018. I've been singing it. I sing it at almost every one of my shows. It has a bluegrass feel to it.
it. Yeah.
And I have some puppets in my show, and this is the actual Muddy Puddles, and he wears these purple goggles.
Love it.
And so
Which we did make sure his purple goggles made it into the book. So he
Oh,
does wear
good.
them so he syncs up with his puppet version.
Good, good, good. Yes, yes.
yeah, and I hook this on the end of my guitar as I
Oh
play,
my gosh,
and
that's hilarious.
Um, so I have a few puppets I use in my shows. So he's one of the most popular ones. So it just made sense to do do the book. And so yeah, Jane and I we met. I guess we talked and met on I don't know if we on the phone or on Zoom, and and Jane, you came up with the kind of the story of
Yeah.
Muddy.
Yeah, yeah, because
Go ahead, Jane.
when you start, you've got the song, you've got the lyrics, and so I think the challenge is the illustrator bringing the book to life, which I also designed the book, so I was also the book designer on the project as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
Was how to bring a narrative,
Mm-hmm.
how to pull the narrative out of the existing song. Um, so, I mean, Laura and I talked a lot. I tried a lot to get a sense of what was important to her and, what details really like defined the song. And as you guys point out, that bluegrass folksy feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I kind of started with the details, right? Because Muddy Puddles is a pig and he's our main character. So, then you start following that thread. It's like, well, where would a pig be?
Mm-hmm.
And the lyrics lead you to it's springtime. So you have a sense of a time of year. You start thinking farm, it brings you into a setting. And so it kind of gives you a place to start with where to create a story and how to start getting some fun page turns so that you get these fun moments as you go through the story where you're like, oh, like this is happening. Now this is happening. So I tried a lot to follow the lead of the lyrics that already existed, and it's like, what is the story that would really go with what's already there, and then
Mm-hmm.
how to expand on that. And I kind of feel like the key piece that really like the whole story came from was really um the the lyric, these puddles are so big I might need my bathing suit to
Yeah.
swim, swim, swim to the other side. Because that right there is like, oh my gosh, if you have this mud puddle that's so big that you
Yeah.
have to swim, like what? where does that take you and what's
Yeah.
on the other
The other
side?
side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a journey, right? Because then there's this journey, like if you're going across this mud puddle from side to side. So those were kind of the threads I think I pulled out as a storyteller, as an illustrator, to be like, how can we build the book? And then, vibed with Laura to kind of come up with what would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a movement song, at its
Yeah.
simplest form. We jump in puddles, we swim in puddles, we roll in the mud. But then the illustrations really told the story. I mean, all the animal friends that come into play are so cute, and how Jane has them playing instruments. So
Yes.
it brings in the music, and
Yes.
and then they end up having like a big party at the end. And I was kind of even thinking like it's kind of like, life gets messy, gets muddy and messy, but you go through it with your friends. So
I
that's
love
like
that.
you might think
Yeah.
about of like, if there was like an overall arching theme.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
definitely.
yeah, so and I've been so this is my first book, I'm used to singing to kids, but reading book I'm started to as soon as when
Yeah.
the book came out, I used it all spring. I read the story and then we'd get up and dance and do the
Yeah.
song. And it was so cool to see what the kids would point out because I
Mhm.
haven't read that many stories to kids, until
Yeah.
now. So, and they're pointing out the littlest, like,
Tiniest details.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh, the mouse or a worm, little worm, a little butterfly. Or I showed it to my cousin's daughter, and she pointed out the little,
So sweet.
so on the edges, it's the worm, the raindrops, the flower, and the sun.
I love it.
I didn't even really notice the,
Yeah. Yeah.
like kids notice. And I heard her, I was staying with them for a few days, and I heard her say the four things. She's going, a flower, a sun, the raindrop, the worm, and it's like
Making her own song.
she made up like her own little song
Yeah.
before, and I was like, oh, so Jane, you're so good at these little details, and
Mm.
that make the book really special.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you. Thank you. And I mean, I was definitely trying because I wanted to bring in all those fun things. And it's a springtime book. So I wanted to make sure that we had all these things that evoke spring. And to me, that's like the bugs, especially here in North Carolina, because as Tani knows, as soon as it gets warm,
Oh,
it gets
everybody's
loud.
calling
There's so
those.
many bugs. Um, and I wanted that to be kind of fun, which actually, in preparation to chat with you guys today, I thought kind of a fun challenge for readers is I counted up the bugs. The book has 15 ladybugs. It has 45 worms,
Wow.
12 pill bugs, and 8 butterflies. So, fun challenge for the littles. See if you can find them all. And don't forget
Hey,
the front cover.
tell me that again, Jane. 15 ladybugs, 45 worms.
12 pill bugs, like the little brown ones
Roly
with the
polies, yeah.
vines, and then
Yeah.
8 butterflies.
8 butterflies. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
We're like, we got
You guys are so cute. I love it. It's like a built-in like hidden picture or
little
like scavenger
hunt.
hunt.
Yeah.
Well, that might be a fun thing to do to get.
Totally would. Yeah. As you're performing and sharing. Yes.
All right,
Yes.
eight.
Well, I think one of the things too as an illustrator is you're always cognizant of repeat reads, right? Like you want the readers to have things that every time they go back to the book, there's more little things for them to enjoy or to notice or to reward them on repeated readings, right? Because you want them to love the book enough that they just keep coming back for more. So I
Yeah.
like that challenge of bringing in like all that fun stuff. And certainly with the characters too, trying to create these really fun characters that you just get excited about. You just want to follow them and dance with them. And
Yeah.
I mean,
That could be a worksheet. See, now I'm thinking.
Yeah.
yes,
And
yes.
And one thing we talk about a lot in Kid Lit is layers. And so what you guys have been talking about for the last few minutes is how there are all of these layers. So you have the layer of the song, which is about something that kids love. Any puddles, I mean, kids are always going to jump in puddles, period, dot, and mud pies and anything to do with mud and messiness. So, I mean, you've got those two layers right off the bat. You've got a song, which is a layer in and of itself. Then you have these amazing characters. You have the musical element that James brought in with the instruments that you talked about. You've got the spring element, the farm. You've got all that. And then you have these little hidden seek and find little tiny animals, which are fabulous. Kids love going back. And one thing that teachers will often do is they'll do multiple read throughs, right? And they'll say, okay, this time when we're reading, I want you to listen for this, or I want you to look for this. And then the next time, maybe tomorrow, or maybe a couple of days later, we're going to read this book again, but today I want you to listen for this or watch for this. See how many worms you can find today as I read the story again. Or I want you to listen for what's the problem in the story and how did they solve it. And so those repeated reads that you were talking about, Jane, each one of them can have a totally different purpose. And especially if you guys have done a good job, which you obviously have, creating all these layers, then that makes it super easy for teachers to use in their classrooms, whether they're teaching preschool or working at daycare or kindergarten or, even upper, like, okay, today we're going to look for this. Today we're going to look for this. And, what do you notice today that's different than what we looked at yesterday? Did you find something new? So those are really great tools to put in the hands of teachers and parents and families that, yeah, they're going to have to, read this book probably about 1,599 times. And so you want to make it fun, not only for the kids to hear all those times, but also for the caregivers and the teachers that are going to be sharing them. So those are some great points that you brought out. Yeah, thanks for
Love
that.
that. And like there's a banjo solo in the song
Yes.
because in my classes each month I bring in a different instrument. I'll bring it's usually a stringed instrument, a banjo, a mandolin, even or harmonica. I've brought that
Yeah.
in, and I'll feature that for the month so that
Fun.
they know when they hear the song, and now they see it in the book.
Yeah.
And there
Yeah.
is,
Well, and I know
like I
too, when we made the book, one thing Laura really wanted for the banjo was for it to be a 5-string banjo
Right.
specifically. And
oh
she told me, she's like, people will notice that. The musicians, they will get this. This will be a
For
special
sure.
thing. So that's a detail that, and actually he's right behind me. You can see he's got 5 strings right on
Yes.
his banjo.
yeah, because the 4-string banjo is like, I think that's called like a Dixieland banjo, and the
Um,
5-string has that little extra string that only goes like halfway up, and
Right.
that's used in clawhammer style, and then there's another style, and bluegrass style. So
Yeah.
there's different kinds of banjos, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I also wanted to mention we did put the QR code to takes you right to the song
Yes.
book too. So
Yes. So on the back cover. So we've talked about a little bit about your process of going back and forth. We've talked about the inspiration. We've also really already talked about all the music that's in there. We've got the instruments, we've got the bluegrass, we've got the song itself. So lots and lots of musical layers in this book as well. Before we leave that, is there anything else musically that you want to point out before I move on to the next question to talk about?
I mean, I guess I would reiterate that in the book, in the back, there's the sheet music for the chorus
Great
that
point.
you
Yep.
can check out, and that also has a QR code that takes you to the song. So that's a great, visualization of the music. And there's a list of movements that Laura created that pair with the song, so that teachers, families, kids, people can you can get into like moving to the song, grooving. Yeah.
yeah, it has the musical notation, but then also it has a chord symbol or a chord letter above. So
Yes.
if people want to strum the chords, they can do that.
Yes. Love that. So, for each of you, as you think about people using this book, parents sharing it with kids, families, daycares, preschools, what is the one thing, and I think maybe Laura, you alluded to this earlier, but what is the one thing that you really hope that they don't miss? What is one thing that you hope that everybody that looks at this book is going to make sure that they notice and that they point out to the little people in their life?
Jane, you want to take that? Or
Oh, this is such a hard one because I feel like I take it like it's a collective, right? I guess maybe more so than like any one thing. I guess I hope that when kids and families and teachers, like when they're enjoying this book, that, they're laughing, that they're having fun with it, that this is like, you know what I mean? It's getting people to smile, it's getting them to talk and to want to move and sing and just bring that joy. Because I feel like the book has a lot of energy. The characters are always on the go and moving. There's a lot of joy in there. So I think my main takeaway is I hope that that it's a joyful experience for the readers.
Love it. How about you, Laura?
um yeah, I think similar to that as well. Yeah, just you know, it's the book is so eye-catching, so I just hope that it's, in when it's sitting there on a bookshelf with a bunch of other books, I hope that it's one that kids will pick up, and it's a it's a great book for parents and kids to enjoy together. And then also just being able to go and listen to the song too, and it like brings Muddy Puddles to life
Yeah,
with all farm animal friends.
yeah. I can tell you, I had a kindergartner last year, and as we were talking, like the last week of school, I was asking all my students, like, what is your favorite book and why do you like it, right? And so one of my little kindergarten girls, her name's Hannah Joy, and Hannah Joy said that her favorite book is anything about pigs. And I said, okay, awesome. And so we were sharing some, favorite pig books and whatever. And I was like, oh, well, do you know the Mercy Watson books? Because you really need to read the Mercy Watson books by Kate DiCamillo if you're a true pig fan. And then her mom and I were talking. I was like, do y'all have pigs? She's like, no, we have never even seen a live pig. But this child has just decided that pigs are her thing. So the first thing I thought about, Laura and Jane, is that I have got to introduce this book to Hannah Joy because she is going to flip her lid over Muddy Puddles the pig. So, yeah,
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
Oh, that's too
yeah.
cute. I love
So
it.
fun. So fun. Yeah. So, before I move on then to the last question, I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that you wanted to say about the book itself, or the song or the process that we have not talked about. Anything burning that you want to make sure we share?
Oh gosh. I mean, I feel like we covered it really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the only thing I would say is that I would encourage people to check out Laura because this is not her only song. She has so much great music and there's so much joy to be had there. So maybe that would be my final little takeaway.
Okay.
And check
Anything
out
from
Jane's other books. Her books are so cute.
Yes,
You-
yes. Chloe Zoe and all the rest. Yes. And all of their information will be linked up below. So websites and YouTube and all that'll be linked up. So if you guys, I'm going to make it super easy for you to do just that, to check out Laura's other work and Jane's other work, because you for sure want to, check out their talent in other areas as well. So, and that segues beautifully into my last question, which is, what is coming next for you guys? Laura, are there plans to do more books for more songs? And is anything in the works? And Jane, for you, I know you have tons of stuff out there. So this is your chance to share with us, where you're going to be, any events that are upcoming that people might be able to enjoy, or works that are forthcoming that we can be on the lookout for.
Um, I would love to do another book with Jane, so hopefully in the future that would happen. We have nothing planned as of yet, but
Gotcha.
just jumping into the book publishing world, it's a whole new world that
It's a big
Jane
world.
held my hand through the whole process. And it's been great. So right now I'm just have been getting it out there in the world and been doing some read along, sing alongs in bookstores and things. So for now I'm as I had mentioned, this is like summer's my busy season for performing. So I'm kind of like right in the middle of that. And uh yeah, I hope to have more songs out and more books, and it's all kind of marinating up in my head right now. But I'm sure you're going to link to my information. You can always see
Yep.
where I'm performing and everything. So if you're, chances are, if you're visiting, if your viewers are visiting Chicago, I have a show going on. And then I've also, um, travel around and tour in other places too. So it's all updated on my website.
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. That's great. And how about you, Jane? What's coming?
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, I would absolutely love to do another book with Laura because I had a blast and it was so much fun and I love Muddy Puddles. So for sure, I'm sure she and I will continue to chat. But this year is exciting for me because my picture book series, Chloe Zoe, is getting 3 new Chloe Zoe books.
Wow.
I say the St. Patrick's Day book came out in February, and Chloe Zoe goes to first grade. She's already been to preschool and kindergarten. So it's the first day of first grade. Chloe Zoe just released this month. So that's super exciting. And I am hard at work finishing the Christmas art because the last book of the year is going to be it's Christmas, Chloe Zoe. So so it's been really special bringing her back. With 3 new titles this year. So
Yeah.
I'm just having a lot of fun doing that and excited to just keep sharing more Chloe Zoe.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm putting my plug in for the pasta noodles book. I am truly intrigued to see the pasta noodles book. So check off one vote for that one as you're moving forward with your plans. I think that would be so fun. It could be because I just came back from Italy. That could be influencing my decision, but I do think that'd be super fun. And kids love it. And one of the things I've seen recently, which would be a great pair along with that, is I saw this activity was, is it pasta or is it a composer? Because, you have like you have Puccini and fettuccine and, like,
That's hilarious.
That is so funny.
yeah.
Oh,
So I've already got some of your activities lined up. So just saying, yeah.
I
that
love
would be that would be a great, yeah, that would be a good book for the next one.
So
Yeah.
fun. So
That's
fun.
also on this album.
Love it. So you guys, you got to check out this album. It's full of good stuff. Yeah. So, well, you guys, this has been such a fun conversation. I have enjoyed chatting with you and learning more about Muddy Puddles and your collaboration and all of that. So exciting and super fun. And I really am looking forward to hearing about more collaborations from you in the future and more fabulous. I can't wait to listen to some more of your music, Laura. I'm definitely heading there as we leave today. And um I'll be sharing some with my kids this year. We're going around the world in the music room this year. So I'll be especially looking for anything that'll take a transfer us across the ocean or around the world. So I'll be sharing your music with my kids. And for sure, Hannah Joy will be enjoying Muddy Puddles. You can rest assured. No doubt. No doubt.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
fun.
thank you. It was such a treat to chat with everybody and to share
Yeah.
Muddy Puddles with the world.
Yeah,
Yay.
absolutely. I know everybody's going to love it. And we'll be in touch about a winner, you guys that are watching. So make sure you check out the links below. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go to the website, the blog itself, because there's a ton more content there. All the links are going to be listed there. But also, we're doing a little giveaway. So Laura and Jane have generously offered a double signed copy. So it'll be signed by both of them to the winner. And all you have to do to be eligible to win is leave a comment down below on the blog. So not on YouTube, but on the blog itself. So check that out if you're watching on YouTube. And there's tons of content that I'll be linking up for teachers and families to be able to use the book in amazing and super fun ways. And so check all of that out. And glad to be back in the PBJamz saddle, and we will see you guys next time for another fun episode of PBJamz.
Songish books and bookish songs, tips for music teachers,